document. I'm going to call this one practice 2. Oops. T-I-C-E. Boy, I got to finish out the word. Practice 2. And this time we're going to create that U shape you see in your assignments, but we need to dimension it out to the correct dimensions. So I'm going to start my sketch. I'm going to go to the front view. So it'll say front pane right here. I'm going to go to the front view here. And I'm going to use just the rectangle tool this time. Okay, that's all I'm going to be using. That's the only tool I'm going to be using, but this time I'm going to be dimensioning things. I'm going to click. I'm going to make, oh, look at me. I'm choosing the wrong rectangle tool. Let me go back and choose the corner rectangle tool. Not the center point, corner rectangle tool. Click. I'm going to come out and make a random square. I need to make 2 more squares. I'm going to click, make a random square here, and I'm going to click on this corner and make a random square here. Now you'll notice there's an orange line here that will lock us in. We don't want to have things locked in very often. So I'm going to go ahead and click higher than that. That way those orange lines are not locking things in. Okay, so to use the dimension tool is this one here. It looks like a set of 2 arrows pointing to 2 different lines. Please don't get confused with this one, which changes lines to construction lines. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the dimension tool. Dimension tool, and I'm going to go through and I need to dimension all the different sides here. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to pull this one out, and this one is going to be 2.25. And I just hit enter. Okay, I'm going to go to the side here and I'm going to pull this one out, and it's going to be 0.75. Enter. I'm going to go and choose. Now I don't need to do this one. If I choose this one, it's already 0.75, so I don't need to choose it. If I do and I click enter and I hit enter again because I want it to be 0.75, you'll notice it's grayed out because it's already written over here. It's telling you it doesn't need it. It's grayed out. To get rid of it, I'm going to click on it and hit backspace. Backspace is the same thing as delete. Okay, I'm going to dimension this tool, this edge, the top left side here, and I'm going to say that's going to be 0.75. I'm going to dimension the top here, and that top is going to be 0.5. Enter. I'm going to come here and I'm going to dimension this one. It's going to be 0.75. And then the top here is going to be 1.5. Enter. And there's our weird looking shape. It has a bunch of different dimensions. If I came back and I can dimension between points, and it will tell me what those are. 0.25, and that has to be right because 1.5 plus 1/2 equals 2, and the total is 225, so it has to be 0.25. Enter, and it's grayed out because it already knows that those 3 numbers added together equals 225, so I can get rid of that. If I made a mistake and I come back and I dimension here and I say I want that to be 0.5, it will turn it red all over and it will tell me, oh my gosh, your measurements are all wrong. So if it turns red like that, you've made a mistake somewhere. The easiest thing to do is go back with the last measurement you made and delete it. Hit backspace and delete it. Okay, so here is my shape. I'm going to you need to take a screenshot of this because I need a picture of this with all of your dimensions. And then I'm going to hit green check mark. I'm going to change it to isometric. So I'm going to click on the small little square over here and change it to isometric so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And now I'm going to use the extrude tool. Looks like two cubes stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to use the extrude tool, and it says faces and sketch regions to extrude. So I need to go choose the shapes that I want to extrude. So as I come over here, you can see it's highlighting things. I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to click on the second one, and I'm going to leave it just like that, and I'm going to ignore the third one. Now, how far out do I want these guys to go? I'm going to change the depth to 1.5. Enter. Now, if I made a mistake, I can always exit these guys out. I can choose exit, and it turns that one off. In case I chose the wrong one, I can hit exit and turn it off. Let me turn this one back on because that one is correct, and I'm going to green check mark. I can come over here to sketch. I'm going to click on the eyeball. It turns that sketch on so I can see it. I'm going to make a new extrusion. This is extrusion number 2. I'm going to come and choose my last square, and I want this one to come out 1 inch. That's the default number. I want it to come out 1 inch, and green check mark. And now I can come back and turn the sketch off. And that's the picture I want you to take. I want you to take a picture of this, a screenshot. This is still isometric. I want you to take a screenshot of that picture. And that's your assignment for today. So you should have 2 pictures you're turning into me, 2 screenshots, one of the dimensions and one of the finished extruded piece.